Hello everybody, my name is Richard here, and I have the brand new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare multiplayer reveal trailer that was just shown at Gamescom about an hour and 45 minutes ago. So I have it here to just kind of like slow it down, take a nice deep look into it and see what's new and about what they said, and I might as well get started. Here we go. Alright, let's stop right here. First things first, the laser that you see right across the screen. That's obviously from a sort of laser gun that the enemy's trying to use and kill us, that you saw in the beginning of the trailer here when it started. But we happened to get the first kill, well they didn't, and that's why on the left side of the screen you see the title and the emblem, which obviously is returning, and it has been returning, so it's not really a big surprise or a big deal. The mini-map is much smaller than Ghosts, that's very notable, and if you look at it very closely, you can see that around your arrow it's kind of red, so it kind of gives you a detailed look at how the enemy looks at you in the mini-map. Are you red? Yes you are, right there we are. And when he goes down, it's gonna turn back to normal without the red, and then when he brings out his shotgun to kill the other guy, it's gonna come back to red again until, you know, he stops. So there's that. The blimp, I don't know, that just happened to caught my eye. Don't know if that's a kill streak, don't know if that's just part of the map trying to look cool or whatever, but that's a nice little detail they have along with all the other mountains. Alright, now we turn to the bottom right side of the screen where we have these two sort of grenade looking things. The left one looks and is the grenade that when you throw it, it shows you where the enemies are, which has the potential to kind of break the game, because it tells you where they are, and it's kind of, I don't know, I feel it's sort of cheap. it doesn't have a good impression on me right now. And the one next to it, as you're gonna see later on as this video keeps going, this player uses it as a direct impact kill. So he shoots it with his the exoskeleton right at the enemy and impales them, and it kills them. Now I don't think the trailer managed to give a little bit more time to see if that is a sticky grenade, which you obviously stick to the guy and it explodes, or maybe that's a special sticky grenade which impales when it hits and it explodes, or maybe it's just to impale. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm getting at right now. So I believe that's all that I can see right now. And also, one last note, this map that they told in the conference, it's called Biolab. Alright, here we go. Alright, this looks like a good place to stop. So, this is a new bolt action rifle. The name has not been given out in the game yet, or at least you can't really see the name, and it was not given out during the conference. Now this sniper just gotten the missile strike, and if you look at the kill streak, it's light up, and it's the only one there. The only reason this person only has one kill streak is not because he only picked one, is because now the kill streaks or score streaks are integrated with your class in a new pick 13 system, meaning you only have 13 things to pick, including your score streaks. You can have no score streaks or up to 4 score streaks if you really want a lot of score streaks. Then there you go. And of course there's customizable score streaks, which I believe it's what's happening right here, what's going to happen soon. But before I get to that, if you look at the mini-map really quick, you're going to see a big red dot. So whatever that score streak is going to be shown in the radar, or maybe it won't be, but it's just that the fact that he's shooting throughout most of this is what's giving him away, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure that whatever that is, maybe like a juggernaut exoskeleton suit or something, but it's there, and it's pretty bad, it's pretty insane, and it's going to be showing up in the mini-map. Speaking of maps, this map is not known. There was only 4 maps given out during the conference, and this is not one of them. This is a brand new map that nobody knows the name of, only that there's this kind of facility going on, like ruins in the forest or whatever. But so far there's been no name or anything mentioned of this map besides this part. And so what you're going to see right here, if you look at the bottom right, once again, instead of the score streaks, As before we had the 2 grenades, now there's just the exoskeleton battery thing. And what that does is, from what we can see, is that it cloaks you. This is just one of, I think, 3 abilities that we know of, which is hover, shield, and cloak. And right now it's going to be cloaked. And it looks to be wasting the battery a pretty bit, as you're going to see when it plays again. The battery doesn't really last really long, and I don't remember hearing anything about recharging it. Maybe when you die you recharge it. But other than that, no other way has been known, or what I can think of, about bringing back the battery once again, recharging it. And missile strike, once again, what you're going to see is not a normal missile strike. Here, it just shows 1 missile strike in the center of the screen, and that's what you think. But in fact, when he calls it in, it's actually going to be a cluster of missiles. The reason for that is now there's customizable kill streaks. Now what that means is, instead of a missile, you know, let's say it's 500 points to get it, you can select this thing that makes it into a cluster of missiles, which will add 200 points to it. So instead of killing 5 people to get it, you have to kill 7. But it's an updated kill streak. So that's what's gonna happen right there. And I don't see anything else happening besides the laser, the huge crane, the battery. The bullet count is now 1. You know, it doesn't show the actual bullet itself, which is kind of worth noting. So let's get back to it. Alright, so here we are. We just called in the cluster of missiles that are about to go in, and I just kind of wanted to highlight to see what it looks like. Now it looks really high up, more than what it normally would be in the previous Call of Duties. On the bottom right it says cluster deployed, so obviously it's not just 1 missile, as I said before, it's a huge cluster of them. And one thing I also wanted to highlight is that it says hold X to exit. Now normally when you would call in a Predator missile or anything like that, you couldn't really do that, you know. You couldn't just call it in and then just back out. But it looks like here they kind of gave you that option to, hey, look, take a look. If you like what you see, go ahead and shoot the cluster or the missile or whatever kind of upgrade you have. And if not, then don't worry about it. You can just get out and you can call us back later. We could do this later. And that's what it looks like, to me, at least. And so the clusters have been called, and now we're going to see the full effect happening on that guy that we talked about a little ago that was showing up on the mini-map with the Juggernaut exoskeleton. So let's find it. Let's take a look.
Tsunami warning. Beware of changing tide.
Fire! Fire!
Tsunami warning. Please evacuate to higher ground.
Alright, so we just saw once again how the exoskeleton's gonna move around, and you'll be able to kind of maneuver yourself around your enemy, and it's kind of like a cool little chess game. And we're here at a brand new map, or at least I think we're in a brand new, that was kind of teased in the teaser trailer, of course, at the end of the campaign trailer. And this is the San Francisco map Defender, where at a certain point in the match, a tsunami is going to come in. And it wasn't specifically said that it was going to happen every single match, but it was said that it's at a certain point in the match it's going to happen. So if you win the game before then most likely, like in a search and destroy, if you kill everybody before that, then obviously it's not going to happen. But there you go. And now we see that knifing is in the game, as you're going to see later on, because you see a guy running behind another guy with a knife, but here you could just punch. So there's a little bit of a difference there that kind of needs its own explanation, because obviously the exoskeleton is hard enough to kind of break your skull, or at least it looks this way, so it's insta-kill. Or maybe it's not an insta-kill, maybe it's a double hit, who knows. Maybe it's a perk that you might need or something, or maybe a certain selection in your customization, but at least it's there. You can punch a guy or you can knife him. It depends whether you have what unlocked or chosen. Alright, and now we also see what looks to be an assault rifle on the floor that we could pick up, called an ABR A3-1 or it's something around like that, and it's pretty crazy sounding name. and there's a tsunami right there. And in the next stop, we'll see the shield in action. So let's get to it.
You're taking the lead.
Alright, so the tsunami came in, it's over now, and this guy just jumped over onto a nice cool platform right there and took out the shield, and as you can see in the middle, the battery is starting to drain. And as this goes on, you'll see that the battery kind of drains really fast. You can only use it for like a few seconds until it reaches at least halfway. Alright, so this isn't going to be like a game breaker where everybody could just hold their shield and then just, when the guy needs to reload, just switch and shoot. And then you could keep using it like that. It's not as simple as that. Alright, and you kind of saw how he made sure, or wanted to make sure that he landed on the platform, not only to kill this guy, but to avoid the water. So then the question becomes, does water kill you? I mean, in previous Call of Duties, if you went in water, you were like a fucking dead fish and you couldn't swim anymore. So now with the exoskeleton, as you're gonna see in a few seconds, you can finally swim, because without the exoskeleton you can't swim. Just remember that. And yes, that was a joke. So let's get on to it. There's not really any more difference that I can say about this picture. Just the shield, the battery, and a brand new kill streak, by the way, on the left, not the left, the right hand side, the bottom right, where the kill streaks are. Again, it only has one kill streak, and that's how it shows you how much is left. It kind of loads. It's not like Modern Warfare 3 where there's little slots of how many kills you need to get to the next one. So there's that. So let's get on to it. Alright, so now we've seen how the laser works in the player's point of view, melting down the enemy. But now the question is, how does it work? Now, if you look at the bottom right side of the screen where the ammo would normally be, it kind of has these two bars. So the way that I'm thinking is that it works like a normal laser gun would work in other games, you know. You would shoot the laser and it would keep kind of heating up until it overheats and just doesn't work anymore. So what I'm guessing is those two bars are obviously the only bars needed to kill that guy. But if, let's say, he missed and he kept shooting, more bars would be added all the way until the top of that square or rectangle that is specifically set for the ammo. And once that happens, I'm guessing you're gonna need to stop for a second. The guy kind of like looks at his hands or something to see that it's burning his hands, and then it'll kind of like slowly recool all the way back down to be used all over again. That's the way I'm thinking this works, and it kind of makes sense that it does as well. Now the map itself is also new. This is one of the 4 that they said, which is called Riot. It's like a prison facility. It's kind of open. It has open areas, some close range areas as well on the inside. But there's like a whole courtyard where you could just go, and it's like a death match, really. On the bottom right, once again, we have the kind of the grenade that tells where everybody is, and there's, I think, the shield, or maybe it's the hover. I don't remember, but I think it's the shield, if I'm not mistaken. Top left minimap, once again, it shows red dots everywhere. Pretty small. Team deathmatch, and this kind of red part on the outside, it could be because you're hurt. Obviously, that's kind of like the new detail, that when you're hurt, instead of it just being completely red, it's just kind of highlighted red, like futuristic laser or whatnot. But that's kind of what's happening right now. And again, on the kill streaks, the top one of the 2 is the orbital care package, and the bottom one is yet to be known. And it's really hard to tell what it is. There's nothing that kind of gives it its look like it's a helicopter or something. It doesn't look like a turret or anything. It just kind of looks like these waves with, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but we're gonna have to see later on, because it does not tell, and they didn't say it in the conference either. So let's go. Alright, so right now we maneuvered ourselves with the exoskeleton pretty good, And we use this new, I think it looks like a submachine gun, but it could also be an assault rifle, with this new form of hybrid optic sights, you know. It kind of switched a little bit in between there. And we gained the orbital care package, which should work exactly the same way as a normal care package, except maybe it'll be dropped down faster, more precise or whatnot. And then another thing to notice is the shock charge is back, because you could see it right down there on the lower right hand side, and a second kill streak, which later on as I play it, is the XS1 Vulcan, which you can see what it is. At first I thought it was like a blackbird or something, you know, where you could see everybody, the enemy, and where they're looking at and where they're going, but no, that is not the case. That's what I thought. And you'll actually see it working at the end or near the end of this trailer, and you can notice that because as it's preparing to be used, on the left hand side it'll say XS1 Vulcan, and it'll take out a bunch of guys completely. But for right now, we're just gonna go, and he's gonna run over there, and he's gonna do what was happening in the teaser trailer, which is go around, you know, vertically and horizontally backwards to get the guy that's gonna knife him, which obviously shows that knife only, running around with your knife, is back. So here we go. Alright, right here, a bunch of things to point out. Number one, capture the flag is back. Not really a big surprise, because if you're an FPS, if you're making an FPS, capture the flag is one of the game modes that you really should think about having, because it's kind of traditional. Number two, new map. Never been like shown at the conference, right? It's not one of the 4 that they told about. What else is here? The title card. If you remember before, the title card was different. So it's the whole card itself. It's not just a title that you put on and that's it. And also notice that the emblem is moved from the right side of the card all the way to the top left. So that's nice to notice. Number 3, new kill streak. Don't know what it is. If I had to guess, it's more like an escort drone or like a helicopter or something, right? And finally, number 4, if you look at the grenades, obviously it has the shield. I think it's a shield, but there's a new kind of grenade. Don't know what it is. It isn't used here, right? He doesn't throw it, he doesn't use it or anything, as far as I can tell. And if I had to guess, it's a sticky grenade, a Semtex, kind of like Halo 3's, you know, blue sticky grenade and whatnot. That's, if I had to guess, that would be it. And the guy that you're looking at right now, the reason everything looks kind of weird, you know, with the blue lights and everything, is because that's the guy with your flag. That's what it's going to look like when you have the enemy's flag and when the enemy has your flag. He's going to be kind of like highlighted. It's not just like this flag that's just like black, bleak, and like, you know, just regular. Now it's kind of like holographic, which looks pretty cool. It looks different. It looks nice. It looks unique. And I think that's about it. So let's keep going. Alright, I'm gonna stop it right here for a second. Let's take a look right here. He's pulling up his tablet here for no reason, right? He doesn't have a score streak to use, so what the hell is this? Now, I didn't pause it at the right time, but if you go a little bit back just before this, it says press and hold X to defensively support Warbird. So now it's confirmed the helicopter up there that's trying to wreck everybody is called a Warbird. And now, in order to understand how you can do this, you can help your teammates now, by the way. It's called a co-op kill streak. Let's say I get the Warbird, and I don't know, I guess I could ask for some help, or if you want to help me, you could just press X and support me. If the Warbird that I customize, because you can customize score streaks now to add certain things, which one of them I believe was support, now my friend or my party member can help me kill everybody else and, you know, win the game, whatever game mode it is. So there's that. And if you look at the bottom right, once again, look at the grenade section. There's the shield or the hover, and then next to it, I can't even look at it. I even went to YouTube, put on 1080 PhD, and I still don't understand what that is. If I had to guess, it's kind of like a claymore or a motion sensor mine or something like that, or maybe it's a tracker, because now there are grenades that kind of like track where the enemy is. So I would kind of think it's one of those, right? On the right, you see the 3 kill streaks. This one, the one all the way at the bottom, looks like an orbital care package, but this time it's at 700, so it's kind of specialized with added stuff to get it from 500 to 700. So now it's kind of better, it's more bigger and whatever. The one above it, if I had to guess, it's an EMP. That's what I think. And once again, the one above it, I still don't know what it is. I would kind of think it's like a helicopter or something, or such a really big like aircraft. And just for lulz, all the way at the left, you kind of see this guy called Hover Slam kind of got a car kill. So car kills are coming back, which are not my favorite because I'm the one that gets killed by them the most, excuse me. So we're gonna join this guy and we're gonna help him out, and let's see how it looks. Alright, so we're stopping right here. This is what is called a supply loot. That thing, that chest that you saw open up and now you're getting all these goodies, that's what a supply loot is. Supply loots are kind of like this new thing in the game where the more time you keep playing, the more rewards you get. Or maybe the challenges you get done, the more rewards you get. And what you're looking at right here is obviously the score streak. Maybe it's an added like bonus, you know, whatever. The gun, it's kind of like the same gun but like a little different attachments or different specs. So maybe you can have the same gun but you can have different stats on it by, you know, with the supply loots it gives you the same gun with different stats, and depending on whether you prefer to have a higher fire rate than mobility, then you choose that one or the one before. And then, you know, the one on the left, which is the helmet, is just for customizable options. And what you're gonna see right after this is you're going to see all these characters, and that's the virtual lobby. That's how the lobby is going to look like, where you can see your character and other people's character, their guns, their loadouts, you know, their helmets or whatever. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's also like, it's not one of the main things about Call of Duty. That's more of a customizable personal thing if you really are into that sort of thing. So let's get on and finish this thing off. So I'm here, I'm signing off. This is Richard. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of the trailer.
Pre-order the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Day Zero Edition and get 24-hour early access, double XP, 2 custom weapons, and the advanced arsenal.
So RMFG, we meet again.
Humiliation.